CNN.
It has been 6 months since the Northeast was ravaged by Hurricane Sandy, and on Staten Island, which suffered some of the worst devastation, residents are still recovering. One of the more powerful stories is that of Pat Dresch, whose husband and 13-year-old daughter were among 24 Staten Island residents to lose their lives in that storm. She joins us, along with Congressman Michael Grimm, to talk about the recovery and where things stand. They both joined us this morning. Thank you. Nice to see both of you. And I'm sorry for the circumstances, but thank you for coming and reminding us what we've all been through in these 6 months. You're wearing your husband's wedding ring. They found it in the rubble.
Yes. My brother and his friend, they were walking down the road. He kicked a piece of china, and I popped this ring.
Wow.
They picked it up. They didn't know what it was. They brought it to me in the hospital. He said, "Do you recognize this?" I said, "Yeah, it's George's ring."
Wow. Tell us what happened that night.
We were in the house. My husband didn't want to leave because when we left for Hurricane Irene, we were robbed. And we stayed. We were a family. We stayed. All of a sudden, the house started coming apart, and we went upstairs to the bedrooms. We went in the closet, and then he said, "Look, the water's coming out through the walls. We had to get out of that room." So I went into my bathroom, and I'm holding my daughter. And we felt the water rising, and I did go under in the bathroom, but I was able to pick her up. And then all of a sudden, the walls just gave out, and out we went, out in my yard. And as we went out, she was on my arm, he was behind us, and a piece of the roof came and hit us in the head, and we both went under. And I knew I lost her immediately. She was gone. And as I'm going under, I says, "I'm not going to die. They're not going to find my body under this rubble." And I woke myself up, and I picked myself up. And as I came up out of the water, I grabbed onto the phone cables that were there.
The phone cables. So
yeah,
you were...
I was as high as the phone cables. I just grabbed on wires. And
They found you some hours later.
yes, about 5 hours later, I floated away.
So now it's been 6 months, and you have to put everything back together, start all over again. Are you going to stay in Staten Island?
Yes, I am. I saw a little house that I like. And until the buyout comes, that's what I want to do. I'm going to sell off the property. I can't go back down here anymore. I'm found in no residence right now, and that's where I want to be.
So these are, you're hearing these stories. These are your constituents who are starting over. It's been 6 months. How has the recovery been? How has the rebuilding been? How has the money flow been? A lot of people still are in transitional housing.
It's been extremely difficult. I mean, don't get me wrong, a lot has been done, but there's still so much more to do. In many ways, we're really just starting major aspects of the recovery. And a big part of that is you have to understand, it's $60 billion in total, $9 billion towards replenishing flood insurance, and $51 billion. That's a lot of taxpayer money. So obviously, the Congress wants to be stewards of that money and make sure that it's spent correctly for those like Pat that really need it. And to do that through a massive city like New York and a massive state, there's a lot of things that have to be put in place. So we were just approved, the state was just approved for $1.7 billion by HUD, and now we're expecting the city to be approved for $1.8 billion. And that's going to go directly towards buyouts and exactly people like Pat to get them finally back in homes and where they need to be. But there's a lot of work to be done for not only people like that, but also the small businesses that have been struggling. And if they don't get their funding soon, unfortunately, they'll close their doors forever.
This will be a slow process for Staten Island. I mean, with or without money, it's a slow process to come back from something like this.
Of course, this is
Devastating.
This is a massive endeavor.
What do you do? So you get up every morning, and you are working at your church.
Yes.
You're doing religious education for second graders.
Second graders, yes.
Right. How do they help you? How does that routine help you?
They hug, we pray together, they cry with me. They've been through so much, these children. The families, they're so welcoming, they're warming. They don't know what to say to me when they see me. We just hug and cry. And that means so much to me that they're out there caring for me. They've been there